Hey guys, it's Brandon here, Dungeon Master Extraordinaire of Cantrips and Cocktails. I wanted to share some pretty exciting news with you guys before we start today's episode. So we've had a lot of fun the last few months releasing these episodes every other week for you on Fridays, but we really wanted to find a way to push the campaign forward and put as much of this story out there as we can over the course of the summer months when things for us frankly aren't as busy. And so we've decided that the entire month of July and August we're going to release one episode every week. That means starting July 2nd, you're going to have one new episode of Cantrips and Cocktails to listen to every single Friday for the months of July and August. Really, it's a way for us to say thank you to our small community that's been supporting us, and a chance for us to get as much more content out there in front of you guys as we can so we can push this story forward into the direction it's heading. We hope you guys are excited. I know we are. And now we'll dive right into today's episode of Cantrips and Cocktails. All right, everyone. Welcome to Cantrips and Cocktails, our first virtually recorded episode. Enter horn noise here. We are all within our own homes, recording together virtually this evening, and so as such, we do not have a cocktail prepared. But I guess we can all kind of chime in with what we're drinking in our own spaces and places. So I am drinking as Ben put it, bastardized Manhattan. So basically bourbon with a little bit of vermouth in it. And I'll just call on somebody, I guess. Ben, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a classic mule, but made with some Weller bourbon. So, yeah, nice and refreshing.
I have a Trinidad sour here. Made myself a weird drink so I didn't have to subject you guys to it when I made it.
And last but not least, Landon.
Got a nice warm mug of buttered rum, so a hot buttered rum with a cinnamon stick in it.
So it's kind of weird to start this off and like not talk about like a cocktail we've made together. So I'm going to make an awkward transition now. So let's talk about what we played, what happened last time.
Ooh.
So last time you guys continued on your way towards the location of this monastery to the Platinum Dragon God Bahamut. And along the way, it wasn't last episode, but the episode before, you guys ran into some bandits. And that got super tense and dark, and you guys killed one of them, and basically this bandit has a sworn vengeance on you, so that'll be fun to come around at some point. But last episode, you guys continued on your way, and you guys fought two griffins, slew them handily, and then found yourselves in this kind of caldera valley between some peaks. And this is where Professor Fellows has said that he believes the location of the monastery to Bahamut is. You're getting there kind of as the sun was setting, so you decided to go to the center of the valley, make camp, rest for the evening, and kind of try and start fresh in the morning to see if you guys can't find the location of the monastery when there's kind of fresh light in the morning. And so that's where we're going to begin. You guys awake the next morning. There were no issues in the evening. It's a new day. You guys see that Professor Fellows kind of he's actually out of his wagon where he normally isn't first thing in the morning. He has a bit more of like a energy in his step. Dodrin also is kind of flitting about the campsite with nervous energy, checking packs, checking gear. And even though you guys don't know if you're going to necessarily find anything here, you can tell that the two of them are very excited for what might happen. So with that, what would you all like to do?
Me make sure I've got my spells picked for the day.
Yeah,
Oh,
always
yeah,
handy. Always handy.
Thanks for the reminder.
Right.
Yeah, those prepare your spell classes. Clerics and druids and wizards. I think those are the three that prepare. There might be more.
Yes.
I think it's just
I
those
can't remember if anything else does.
Yeah. But hey, while they're checking their spells first thing in the morning, Kane, is there anything you would like to do?
I'd like to go up to Dodrin and just go, hey, buddy, what, when do you think we're going to run into some relics today?
I have no idea, but I mean, we're here. The professor's very confident that there's something here, and like I told you, I mean, I just want to discover something new. So, I mean, I hope today, but it could take us 2 or 3 days just to locate the entrance, if there actually is anything here. But I mean, I want to find something today.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm I've been kind of hiding it, but I'm actually kind of looking forward to looking through some of these ruins.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, this is your people's culture, your history. I mean, this could be maybe a missing link in some historical line. I mean, granted, I don't know the Dragonborn history, but you might discover something that's of value to your people.
Yeah, I mean that'd be discovering something that's been lost for Lord knows how long. That'd be a nice thing to return to my people to.
Absolutely.
Professor,
And
what do you think?
well, I must say that it seems like a great day to find some artifacts. And the professor is there flipping through some of his books and notes. And he says that to you, and it's not dismissive, but it's kind of where he's almost having half a conversation with you. You can tell the other half of his brain is focused on his notes and maybe trying to pinpoint where in this valley the exact location might be for the entrance.
Hmm.
Professor, where do you think we should head first in this caldera?
That's a difficult thing. It would appear that the monastery was built into the side of the cliff face, but nothing in my research really indicates where in the valley. And seeing as the entire valley is pretty much covered in cliff face, it could be anywhere. I don't have a clear direction, but Dodrin is typically pretty good at this sort of stuff in the wilderness. He knows his way around a map.
Oh, we do have a map.
Well, okay, roughly a map. It's more that Dodrin he has a knack for this kind of stuff in the wilderness.
Call it a hunch. I have a good feeling about the northwest side of this valley, as it were. Um, I think we should start there.
And Fellows looks at you, his eyes sort of narrow, and he says, "What makes you think the northwest, good Varus? What tells you of that direction?"
A hunch. I think I saw some wildlife head in that direction uh, yesterday evening as I was bedding down.
If the doors of the monastery were broken, it would make sense that perhaps the wildlife in the region would perhaps make a den out of it. So, fair point, fair point.
Exactly what I meant. Yes.
He had described he had described the doors earlier, and that's kind of what we were gonna try to. That would be the closest thing to a landmark,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Had he drawn we had talked about him drawing the doors. Did he do
Yeah,
that, or
yeah, I'll say he sketched him out. And this is me being real as a person. I don't remember exactly the description I gave you, so what I'm rolling with now is what it's going to be moving forward. Um, but what he sketched for you all were the set of two double doors, wooden door double doors that had basically the profile, silhouetted profile of the Bahamut, etched across both of them. And that's as much as he's been able to find in his research of what the doors looked like.
Cool.
Well, I can try to locate these doors of Bahamut. It's only as good as about 1,000 feet, but if we get close to it, it'll ping.
Well, I'm open for anything.
I also have a little bit, I think, of the same capability. If we need a few to spread the magic around, as it were.
Well, by all means, lead the way, gentlemen. We'll follow your lead.
After you, Varus.
Okay. I think we decided we were going to get a little bit away from the cart before we tried anything, so it didn't just like
Yeah.
drown out the signal.
Yeah, just tell me, where do you guys want to go? Are you wanting to head to like in the northwest direction? You guys want to split up? Like, how are you guys wanting to approach this plan?
We should not head in the northwest direction. No.
Breadcrumbs? Nah. I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I don't know that splitting up entirely, but that's where because it's 1,000-foot radius, right?
Yes.
So
Mm.
we don't have a very far reach, and I think it only lasts for 10 minutes.
Right. Well,
So
we could kind of alternate. Like, we could either stick together, you cast it, and then I cast it when you run out, and kind of do it that way, or we could kind of head out in a V shape
yeah,
and never get more than 2,000 feet away from each other, but then we only have 10 minutes of a kind of a wedge.
yeah.
Mhm.
Just hope we don't run into anything. I think we can do the alternating. I can start. Um, so I don't know, probably walk for 5-10 minutes into the woods in a northwesterly direction and cast locate object, focusing on door.
How long would it take us to get to kind of the foothills of the caldera? Because right now we're in the middle of the valley, right?
Yeah, when you all came in on your horses and with your carts, and you guys, there is no like direct road, so it took you guys about 30 minutes from the edge of the valley to about the center. So I would say on foot, an hour moving with purpose to reach the edge of the caldera from the center.
Okay.
Would we want to wait until we get closer to the edge to activate,
Maybe
or
maybe walk halfway there and then cast it.
Yeah, I would
okay?
definitely say wait a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming like the terrain looks pretty flat, or like not like super hilly.
Yeah, it's relatively flat. There's a few rises in the caldera, but it's mainly like shrubs, trees, tall grass, nothing that like sticks out of the ground in a big way. No like huge hills or anything like that. No. There's a small stream that runs through the center of the valley, and that's where you guys have gotten some fresh water. But it's like when I say a stream, it's like 3 feet wide. Like
Yeah.
it's not anything
A
major.
babbling brook.
It's a crick.
It's a
It's a
crick.
crick.
No, God bless Oklahoma.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's what you guys want to do. So you guys walk about 15 minutes. No, you guys were going to go about halfway there and then do it, right? So you guys walk about half an hour, and then you guys gauge that you're roughly, halfway to the edge of the caldera. Dodrin and the professor are walking with you guys, so they're with you now. If you guys want to, you guys can go ahead and roll me, or not. You guys don't have to roll diddly. You're casting spells. But you guys can just tell me who's going first. Who's going to use their?
I can go first.
Okay. And I mean, this whole time I'll just keep up a like be looking for doors,
Go
even
look
if I don't.
Yeah, Celty, roll me a perception check at disadvantage, just because you're walking behind him and you aren't really taking the time to really survey the area.
Yeah, I'm kind of more or less just checking the right and left of.
Yeah. So
us.
go ahead, and just make a perception check at disadvantage for me, Varus. While that's happening, you walk for about 10 minutes. You have your locate object spell up, and in that 10 minutes, as you're walking towards the wall of this caldera, nothing pings for you, no doors.
Okay.
So the nearest
That's
drops.
Okay.
that's 16. I
Yeah.
rolled a nat 20 on one of them, but the other was an 11.
That's
Oh,
Brutal.
yeah. This is likewise, Celty. There's nothing in the area that you're able to see. So the 10 minutes pass, locate object drops. What would you guys like to do now?
Well,
You're about now 20 minutes from that wall
Okay.
walking.
could I just like glance around and see if there's anything that maybe looks like it might be infrastructure from not infrastructure, but like structure architecture from the homelands that maybe kind of looks natural, but something that maybe I would recognize.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll let you make a perception check, no disadvantage.
Roll for that.
Yeah.
Roll for that classic 8-lane Dragonborn highway.
Oh shit! Unnatural 20.
Oh wow, man. You see, not almost in a direct line where you guys are, but it'll almost be like if you guys are walking northwest through this caldera, it's slightly more north than you are. and you're not really certain at this distance, but you do see something that almost looks to be like a carved ledge, maybe,
Okay.
in the cliff face, kind of more north than the direction you guys are walking. Like you guys, it's still very visible. It's not like you guys would miss it entirely, but it's just not exactly in that northwest trajectory.
Okay. I kind of just like nudge at the other two and just go, hey, that might be something we want to take a look at.
Well, I mean,
Good.
yes, we are walking towards the mountains.
Should I hold off on casting this until we get closer?
Yeah, I'd say let's get to the base of that area.
And will you guys remind me, just because I don't have it pulled up, locate object, that's not a ritually, that's not possible for you guys to ritual cast that, right?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay. I
No,
just
it's
want
a
to make sure.
concentration, but not a ritual.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that for my own just knowledge. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Spell slot is spent.
So I'll wait until we get closer,
Yeah.
within about 1,000 foot of maybe a little closer than 1,000 foot of that shelf
Okay.
to cast.
Okay, yeah, you can walk. I'd say maybe you guys walk another, let's say 15 minutes, where you think you're like 5 minutes away. So it's kind of looming in front of you now if you wanted to cast it at that point.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. And you do pick up a door, but it's more northward than where you are.
Ooh.
I've got something. It's a little more to the north. Should I lead?
By all means.
Well, yes, Salty, of course.
Well,
It's
follow
Professor
me, boys, then.
We'll keep close
And I-
behind.
And I start just walking that way. And I want to I want to keep my wits about me, though. I do want to be careful because it's old ruins. I've heard stories from the
Yeah.
Seekers. Don't get too excited with old ruins; you'll lose an arm.
You actually come through a break in these thick foliage and this thick trees, and Celty, it seems like the door should be right in front of you, but all you see is just a wall just covered in vines and different kind of plant growth, some shrubs actually growing out of cracks, some small trees growing like out of the side of this cliff face. So you don't see a door.
And it's pinging right in front of me.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good effort.
Well, can I just go up to right where I feel it should be and just knock 3 times on the cliff face?
Yeah, sure. You do it. You kind of go through some dense foliage and stuff, and you can't even get your hand all the way in, but you knock 3 times and nothing happens.
Okay, can I cut away some of the foliage with my glaive or a dagger to get to where I feel like it should be? Or am I now walking through the door and past it, where it should be?
You're definitely not walking through it, but you can start cutting through it if you want to. If your buddies want to help you, you guys can all make investigation checks for me.
I was gonna say you need some help there, buddy.
Sure.
You said investigation.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be great if you could help me clear this away.
Ooh.
Yeah, everyone make, and this is more of as you guys are working through it, it's you looking for some kind of sign of a door as you're cutting away at this growth.
Don't worry, guys. No need to roll. I've got this. A solid 9.
Ooh.
Kane has a 9.
I rolled an 8.
And I got a 17.
Whew, thank goodness for Celty.
Yeah. I like
So
to imagine that Varus didn't he's like, no, this is just a wall. It didn't work. Shucks. Better luck next time, guys.
Yeah. Well, so it was kind of a group check. So I had a DC set for your
God.
combined rolls. And you guys just passed it.
Oh God.
So, but you guys eventually do pull it away, and Celty, as you pull on this one thick vine, you pull it away, and it seems like all of this other vines and foliage and plant growth that had been around it all just sort of falls away, and you all see these old, not necessarily rotted, but weathered, slightly cracked and marred. But you see the set of 2 wooden doors with the profile of Bahamut now just in the side of this cliff face in front of you, and you can't believe that it was underneath all this other plant growth, but it's there and it's in front of you.
I kind of like stumble back a little bit, like kind of straighten up, and then like kind of do a presentation motion with my hands, like there are the doors.
I will say before I go further, I did not think about the spell locate object when I thought about you guys finding the interest thing, so I thought this was going to take a lot longer. But you guys see Professor Fellows. He almost like stumbles forward and reaches both of his hands out, and he just rests them with his heads down. His eyes are closed, just up against it. Salty and Varus, with your passive perceptions, you hear him just under his breath whisper to himself, "I knew it. I knew it had to be here."
Can I make an insight check to see if like
Yeah.
I don't know if he like I've known Fellows for a while, but like I want to make sure he's not like going from just that was bad 9. Going from just like very interested like professor to like fierce believer of some like Bahamut cult, you know, that kind of thing. But with a 9, probably not gonna get that.
No, I mean, and from what I've told you guys before and what it is, I mean, Fellows, it seems based on what Dodrin said to you guys on the road, it seems like Fellows has kind of become a laughing stock within the Seekers Guild, and that he is staking a lot of his reputation and wealth on finding this monastery.
Mm.
So
Okay, yeah.
so maybe he's just relieved that it actually is here and it exists.
Cool.
Varus very much also under his breath. Oh, thank the gods it was actually here.
Did I hear that?
Varus, just roll me a stealth check, and I just want to see if it's higher than Salty's.
The passive, yeah.
Passive.
Oh yeah, that's a total like 21. Total
Okay.
20.
Cool.
Yeah, so you didn't hear that one, Varus.
My peers have complete confidence in my skills.
And you said there was Bahamut carved into the doors?
Yeah, like the profile of like Bahamut's head carved into the door. You think that at one point this might have been like a painted or maybe even like gilded with some sort of like silver or platinum metal. You can see kind of like in the grooves of the wood, there's like some trace elements of that perhaps, but it's faded now to where it's mainly just a wooden door with no color, that's been weathered through the elements.
All right, I just kneel on the ground until we get the door open.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So does anyone want to try to open the door? Dodrin, you guys see it. Dodrin actually has like a sketchbook out, and he's actually sketching very well. He's sketching these doors in the cliff face. It's actually, with how fast he's working, it's pretty remarkable what he's doing.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys if you want to go in or not. The professor is just kind of staying there awestruck that you guys actually found it.
Is there any sort of handle, keyhole, knocker, seam in general?
Nothing. No, nothing on this side. It's just this carved profile of Bahamut.
Okay. Would I be able to tell if this is actually just one giant door, or if this is actually like the whole door? Actually, that's a terrible way to word that, but like, say it's like, assuming it's a double door that opens like inward kind of a thing, is it one giant panel of the door, or is it both of them together and just the seams really connected?
It's the latter. You can actually see where there's a seam in it, but you can't see through that seam. So there are 2 doors that are closed together.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just give it a push and just see what happens?
Yeah. Make a strength check for me.
Just straight strength?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm a master of a solid 6.
Yeah, you go into it, and it's almost Kane, where there's a part of you that's like, you don't want to damage this piece of history of the Dragonborn, so
Mhm.
you just don't give it quite your full attention or effort, and so it gives slightly, but then it kind of rocks back against you, and you stumble back a few feet. You're gonna have to put more oomph into it, you think?
Hey guys, we might want to clear off some more of the extra foliage. It might be gripping it on the sides or something like that, keeping it from opening.
The door boss.
All right, I'll
I
start kind of trimming back some of the foliage.
Okay,
Yeah, because vines
Um,
can be very grippy.
very
that
grippy.
would help.
And I start doing the same.
Is there
Just
anything I can?
trying to uncover it more.
No, I can druid craft something to like bloom more, but I can't druid craft it backwards.
You start to
Dang.
druid craft and it grows back after I trim it.
That is how you get the biggest angry face possible.
Well, I was hoping there was like you can like have it like grow or retract or something, but no,
Mhm.
it's just I can make it grow more. So I'll try to help.
Okay.
Selkie trim back a little bit.
Okay, yeah. You guys can take a few more minutes and cut back away some more. You guys together, or one of you can try to give it a push, open, shove again. Right now, while you guys are working on that, Dodrin and Professor Fellows kind of have their head together and they're speaking, and you can tell they're talking more like Fellows is like, you need to go back and get the supply because you guys didn't bring any of your equipment with you.
That's
Like, you need to
true.
go back and get the supplies and equipment. And Dodrin's like, Professor, I'm sketching the thing. Can you go? He's like, no, I'm not leaving this site. And so you see that they're kind of like arguing back and forth between them. Whereas Dodrin clearly is supposed to be sketching, but Professor also wants him to go back and get the supplies, sort of a thing. They're kind of having this back and forth while you guys are working on the door.
We can always go back for the supplies and return. I mean, we know where it is now.
That's very true, Vars. Would you and perhaps Kane or Salty care to go back and retrieve the equipment and the wagons and everything and meet us back here and however long it takes you, it'd probably be an hour or two, I would suppose.
That would be
Oh,
fine.
yes, I suppose I can aid with that. I have a feeling well, I'm not going to be much help with these doors.
Okay.
I personally would like to stay, just to make sure that the doors are not damaged. Not that you guys would do any damage to them trying to open them, but just like keep it a respectful eye.
I set the
I
door
think
on fire.
I think that's smart. I think Kane, if you stay with the professor and Dodrin, that will be uh, probably a wise decision. And Varus and I can go back and get the equipment. Is there anything we should leave at the campsite, or should we just bring it all here, Professor?
Bring everything. Bring everything.
Okay.
And the
Mm,
professor was like, now that you guys have found the location, like he intends for you guys to set pretty much right outside of the monastery, so you guys
Mhm.
aren't wasting time going back and forth every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so Salty and Vars, you guys are gonna go back and get the equipment.
Yep, I think
Okay.
so.
Sounds good.
You guys do. There's no issues with it. It takes you guys 2 hours to do it. To go back get it. Actually, probably 2.5 hours with the horses and going over rough terrain. So I'd say it'd take you guys about 2.5 hours. So by the time you guys get back, it would be like mid morning, probably a few hours. No, a couple hours before lunch. But while they're gone, Kane, are you wanting to try and open the door again, or just wait for your companions to get back?
I'd spend the first little bit, just kind of, I guess, inspecting the doors and also kind of saying little prayers of like thanks to Bahamut since I'm gonna be messing with this stuff and
Mhm.
hoping to not offend her by delving into this in a few in the coming time. And then
Yeah.
after I feel like I've done sufficient amount of that, then yeah, I'd try to, now that we've gotten some of the foliage off, I'd try to push it open in the same kind of ginger fashion without trying to break anything.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
14.
Okay, yeah, this time you are able to get one of the doors open. As you do, there's just this loud, like, creaking sound of just dry weathered wood. And beyond you, since you have dark sight, it's pretty much just pitch black beyond where some sunlight streaks in. So the professor will say that he's going to encourage that you all wait for your companions to get back before we begin taking in all the sights and sounds of the monastery.
Sounds fair. Just wanted to make sure we had an entrance win, to say the least.
I would say probably about 10 minutes after all this exchange, Kane, Celti and Vars, you guys return with the wagons and the equipment.
Sounds good. Oh, I was going to say, this is not important, but since we were near a stream, I wanted to fill up any water skins or anything else just to have fresh water.
Good call. Okay, good to know.
Not
good to know.
super important, but just wanted to note that.
Yeah. Now that you're all there, the professor will pull everyone together, and he will just ask you guys. And he wants to now. It's weird where he's been very like dictatorial and very like commanding and almost dismissive of you all the past 3 weeks while you guys are getting here. He now almost seems to want to confer with you all like your colleagues, and so he'll ask you, how do you all want to proceed? Do you want all of us to go in at once? Do the three of you want to go in first and investigate? I mean, Dodra and I are more scholars than delvers. We're interested in the historical artifacts in nature, but perhaps it's better for you all to see if it's safe first. But if you want us to come with you as aid in any way, we're happy to do that. And Dodra nods his head in agreement. As well, he kind of pushes his spectacles back up to the bridge of his nose, and he's staying slightly behind the professor.
Well, perhaps a brief scouting mission, as it were, would not be amiss. As you said, who knows what could still be within these walls?
Professor, were the monks of Bahamut particularly violent or greedy?
Not much is known. As far as I know, that their practice of worship, that they believed that the best way to worship Bahamut was to perfect both their mind and their body. They were men of devout faith, but they also practiced the martial arts and the techniques of karate, if you will.
I think that's pronounced karate.
Oh, sorry. My Dragonborn isn't as good as it used to be. I'm
It's
gonna
pronounced carrot.
all that.
It's pronounced carrot. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Yes, the silent E. I mean,
Who's
I am
Dragonborn
fluent
here?
in Draconic.
Yeah. But no, he does say that yeah, the as far as he's able to find here, the monks that worshipped and studied here, they studied texts and tomes, they studied the edicts and religion of Bahamut, but they also trained their bodies because they believed that to be worthy of Bahamut's grace, you had to not only perfect your mind and soul, but your body as well.
Well, I'm no professional, but my eyes do catch things in the shadows quite easily, so I'm happy to be part of the scouting team.
The professor will say, unless you all absolutely need me, I prefer to hang back before you all make sure that it's structurally safe for someone such as myself of my years to go in there. But Dodrin would be, I think, happy to accompany you if you wanted him with you. And Dodrin nods his head and says, I'm happy to join you guys. I'm not, necessarily the toughest in the room, but I might be of some help.
Well, you can sketch a map as we venture forth in the monastery.
Oh yeah, I can certainly do that.
Lost.
Yeah, I can do that. I'd be happy to help with that.
My only hesitation. Are you sure you're okay here alone, Professor?
Oh, I should be fine. I'll wait in my wagon for you all's return. I should be fine in there. I think.
Is there a way you could signal us if something unfortunate happens?
He goes, I've never really been interested in the magic, Jumbo. I've been more interested in texts and history. So no, I don't know how to communicate with you while you're in there.
Well, then just shout really, really loudly if trouble comes up.
Don't worry, that I will do. So
I want to lean over to Dodrin and whisper, do you think he'll be all right?
Honestly, at this point, it's a coin toss.
Well, he is the boss, so if he feels comfortable by himself, then I guess we should get to exploring.
Yeah, I imagine we haven't really seen much beyond like normal wildlife. Some
Yeah,
birds, like some deer or something.
yeah, you've seen birds, you've seen deer, but there's been no like wolves or bears or anything that's more of like a predator. You haven't seen anything like that.
Okay.
No signs of Dave, right?
No, no signs of Dave.
Okay. Cool. Then,
The training montage went real quick.
can I just peek into the hallway of the monastery and see if I can see anything of interest just from
Yeah,
that?
yeah. You look in, Celty, and actually you see that what your eyes almost instantly adjust to the different light. It is actually a grand like entry chamber. So the doors open up, and it's a chamber that's probably about 30 feet wide and about 15 to 20 feet deep. But what you see is that there are almost directly across from the double doors, there are two beautiful, intricately carved statues of Bahamut side by side. And on either side of those statues, there are actually two shut doors leading further in. And the wall is covered in this beautifully carved and painted um, dragonborn text, and you would have to take some time to read that and kind of get the nature of what the text says. But that's pretty much what this entry chamber has.
Okay. So, and Kane couldn't read it, right? I mean, he couldn't see it because of the no dark
Darkness.
vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume I light up a torch at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah. You can
right.
light up a torch and enter as
I
well. Yeah. When you
Can I
go in.
actually cast light?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's like something central, like a torch holder, like a sconce or
Yeah.
a brazier or something like that.
There's nothing really in the center because this is more of an in and out route for the monks when they were entering and leaving this monastery that is carved on the side of this cliff face. But there are a handful of like sconces on the perimeter of the chamber.
Okay, I'll pick one towards the center, directionally, not like
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
if they're on the perimeter.
I understand you. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sure.
I'll just cast light on that to
Okay.
kind
And
of give.
it is a good enough job to illuminate most of the room. Kane, I'd say the far right corners are still kind of pitch darkness to you, but the rest of the room you can see fine.
Cool.
And in this room right now, with the doors being open, it's most of the room seems like it's dim light, but it just because of the fact that it is like going into a face, like it's just darker than dim. It's like just darker than dim. So it's not like impossible to make out shapes. But you guys do have a feeling that the further in you go, the more you will probably need to rely on some sort of light source.
Right.
Okay. I think. Okay, yeah. If I cast it again, it dismisses. Okay.
Well, I don't. I can go around and light these torches, if it is going to assist. I don't want to disturb the history here. If you think it would do so, Kane.
I highly doubt they put important notes or important artifacts right above sconces. I think we should be okay to at least brighten up the place a little bit. At least I would hope. Can I check to see if there's any important artifacts?
No, and as you guys like have entered the room, like the sconces are actually like they're mounted like on like metal like holders that actually like stick like about 12 inches out from the wall, so they're not up against the wall directly.
Okay,
Cool.
yeah.
Then yeah, at least in this opening room, while they're inspecting, because I can't really do much, I'll just kind of go around and just druid craft to ignite any torches that are sitting in the sconces.
Yeah, and as more light fills it, you guys see that this is really just a chamber, an entry chamber that's carved out of the cliff. So it's still it's like a rough, rocky roof overhead. The walls are stone, but this dragonborn text has been like chiseled into the rock.
What's the text say?
It is just, you can take about 5 minutes to read it all, and it is pretty much just listings of edicts and tenets to live your life by in honor of Bahamut. So it says things like, the faithful will not kill, the faithful will not steal, the faithful will uplift their brethren and help those in need. Things along those lines, very like humanitarian, love of all mankind kind of sayings. Nothing in particular sticks out. You see that it might be more of like a reminder meditation thing for them as they enter and leave the temple.
Gotcha.
And nothing else seems to kind of stick out from any of the wording.
No, nothing.
Okay.
No, just really real general, just like love of all life, support, help those who need help, that kind of thing.
Dodrin, I'm assuming that you and the professor can read and write and speak Draconic. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I didn't want to make assumptions, but I did want to make sure you didn't need a translator.
No, it's great. But if you see something that jumps out at you, I mean, by all means, tell me.
Oh, I was just reading these little proverb edicts inscribed upon the wall.
Yeah, I will definitely making a sketch of this entire chamber at some point.
You're quite talented at that. Sketching.
I've always liked art. Well, there's not, believe it or not, I can make more money as a research assistant. So
There's no appreciation for the arts these days.
none at all. But I'm able to incorporate my skill and my passion. Which of these doors do you guys think we should check out first?
Yeah, so you said there's like how many doors did you say?
There are two doors. So the two statues, identical statues of Bahamut, are like directly across from that double set of doors, up against the far wall, and on like either side of them on the outside is a door each. So there are two doors leading deeper into the monastery.
Are there any inscriptions around either door or any kind of markings?
No, they're pretty just simple plain doors, and in fact, like, you're actually kind of surprised that like they're just simple wooden doors, but there's no sign of aging to them at all.
Okay, can I cast find traps looking at both of the doors? Like standing back and looking at both of them?
Yeah, you for sure can. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So is that where you have to cast it once on each door, or is it like,
No, so it's an instantaneous spell,
okay,
range 120 feet, and so you sense the presence of any trap within the range as long as it's within the line of sight. A
okay,
trap for the purpose of the spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator. Thus,
okay,
the spell would sense an area of effect, like the alarm spell, glyph of warding, or a mechanical pit trap. But
yeah,
it would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor or unstable ceiling
yeah,
or kind of natural decay. So
yeah. Okay, is that a first level spell?
it's a second level. So I'm out of second level spells. It doesn't reveal. Okay, it just reveals that the trap is present. I don't learn the location of each trap, but I do learn the general nature of the danger posed by a trap.
Okay.
So
Well, luckily you do it on both, and there's nothing.
cool. Wasted my other second level. Well, not wasted.
We
I
know
feel
we're
better
safe.
about going into either door now. I think either of these doors is safe. Neither of them look dangerous.
We're officially out of my realm of expertise. Though I suppose we have been for a while. So
I just start wandering left.
I was gonna say Kane, heads or tails.
left
just
or
start.
tails?
If Kane walks left, I'll just follow him.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you push open the door, and there is a long, dark hallway in front of you. And do you have light or a torch lit or anything? Or
I have light on my torch that Landon put on there. I'm blanking on Salty. There we go.
Salty,
Jesus,
yeah.
I just brain farted hard.
Yeah. Would you prefer that to be cast on like your axe or like something else, or just a torch?
Nah, just on the torch.
Okay, cool. Because I can move it, but
Right. At the moment, just the torch. If we run into anything dangerous, then we'll switch it over to the axe.
cool.
But yeah, I've got my torch, and I'm just kind of pushing forward.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you see this long hallway, and you see on the left side of the hallway, as you walk down it, you see there are three sets of doors. There are three doors, even kind of evenly spaced down this hallway. The hallway runs maybe 50, 55 feet. But there are three doorways along the left. Right side, there's nothing, and very end of the hallway where the hallway turns to the right.
Do I hear anything, like any noises coming from down the hallway at all?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, like specifically, I guess looking for like sounds of wind or anything like that. 8.
No, you don't hear anything. I mean,
Cool.
you hear. I mean, you hear wind is in the way that like anyone in a cave or an empty building.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you don't hear anything else specifically.
All right. I guess push forward to the right.
Okay, you don't want to check any of those doors.
I think I don't know. Do you guys want to just like check out the main stuff first and then come through and do a fine tooth comb, or do we want to just go room by room and just go clear everything as we go forward?
I mean, truthfully, I really am at a loss here. I'm following you, Kane. Whatever you think is best here.
I don't know that there's much of a difference to me as far as preference, so I'd say if you want to push on past the side rooms, that's not a bad idea.
And then
So-
Dodrin says, I mean, we are in here to kind of check out the whole place so the professor can come in and we can maybe set up, more permanent shop in here. So maybe we should just, I don't know, it's up to you guys.
Dodrin, do you think the professor would be the one to actually open up and look inside the smaller rooms?
I mean, if we felt pretty confident there was nothing, dangerous or structurally unsound in them, yeah.
All right, I have no confidence in that. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start opening up the doors.
Okay. So kind of going down the hall. So there's that one that's close to the entry, the middle one, the far door that's right before the hallway bends to the right. Which of those do you guys want to go into first?
Start at the closest and work our way back.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
And so these are actually like sliding doors. That they slide into the wall. And it's kind of weird. As soon as you guys open this door, you no longer feel like you're in like a carved out stone cavern. Like the walls are lined with wood as though it's like a built structure. But the door does slide into the wall. On this first one, you open it up, and there's really, it looks like someone just came through and kind of hundreds of years ago trashed the space. Old scrolls written in Draconic are littered about. Much of the text on them is faded to be illegible, and the paper seems to almost be like it might fall apart at the simplest touch. But there are a few scrolls that are still bound and in good shape. The floor you see has a woven reed mat covering almost all of it, but some of that has broken down, become splintered, unwoven over the centuries. And on the far wall, there is another painting of Bahamut. And this is a long, skinny room. Like it's only like 15 feet wide and maybe 30 feet deep.
Well, looks like nothing in here that we need to worry about, so to speak.
Yeah. I checked the ceiling and the walls. I kind of like bang on them and make sure nothing shakes or like crumbles.
Yeah, no, for sure. Roll me a good old fashioned perception check.
Okay. Perception 23.
Wow. Okay. Walls and ceilings seem to, I mean, breaking down the wood is, but not like it's going to fall anytime soon. But what you do actually see is your foot kicks one of these scrolls, Celti, and the scroll seems to be in better shape than it should be.
I kind of want to like, I guess, is it like wrapped up, like tied together, or is it like loose?
It's bound. Yeah, it's bound. It has like a ribbon, like a corded ribbon bound around it.
I'll pick it up then.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
see if I guess inspect it.
Yeah. So what you found is it's a scroll, a spell scroll with the spell Spider Climb in it,
Ooh,
which is a
Oh.
second level spell.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I've I was looking at the rules for spell scroll and casting, and I'm kind of not a fan of that you can only cast spells out of spell scrolls from your class, or that someone who isn't a caster can't use a spell scroll. So I've come up with a homebrew rule regarding spells. And this doesn't matter if the spell is in your like part of your class list or isn't. It's just a flat rule for anyone using a spell scroll. So to see if you cast it successfully, you make an arcana check. The arcana check DC is equal to 10 plus the level of the spell that you're casting.
Mm,
So
Okay.
like the spider climb spell scroll when you're casting it. So for you to be able to, so you say I'm going to use it, let's say Celti, have it just the magic work out of it at all for you, you would have to pass a DC 12 arcana check.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
so that's something I'm messing with. I'll probably change it, but that's something I'm rolling with right now for spell scrolls.
Cool.
I mean, that makes sense.
So yeah. So that's something I'm trying out now. I'm going to see how it goes. No, I have no problem with like a barbarian who has a spell scroll busting it out and taking a chance at using it. So
Oh, really?
yeah. I think it adds chaos, which is always fun.
Yep.
Yes.
But yes, a 23 perception check. That's really the only thing in this chamber. So you guys can go to the next chamber if you want.
Yep.
Okay. That middle door, you open it, and it is a room identical to the one you guys were just in, except there's absolutely nothing in here. There's no scrolls. The reed mat on the floor is actually like gone. It's just a wooden planked floor. And there is that painting of Bahamut on the far wall, but there's no other like things in here. It's just an empty room.
Sure.
All right. And DM, if I could keep an eye out for anything mentioning the O Society. I don't know how
Yeah.
to put that. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows about the Optimist Society.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can never keep that straight in my head, or not.
Yeah, people know of the Optimist Society. No one knows anything specific about them.
Okay.
Like just that they exist and where they're located, but no one's ever been to their cities.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm keeping an eye out for that stuff.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
I also probably am, but I don't speak Draconic, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't really do much about it.
Yeah, that's rough, buddy. And you guys want to go to that last room now?
Yep.
Okay. You slide the room in. This one is clearly some kind of physical like activity or training room. There are a few wooden pillars. God, a few wooden pillars scattered throughout this room that have like different like wooden limbs sticking out of it at like different heights. Does anyone who wants to make a perception investigation check in this room to just kind of scout it out?
Sure. You said perception or investigation?
Yeah, either one you guys want to do.
That'd be a 16 perception or a 15 investigation.
Well, pick one or the other.
Yeah, I know. Perception.
Perception. Okay.
Exact same for me.
Which is 16.
Yeah.
Okay. Celti, do you want to make a roll for anything?
Why not?
I mean, you guys might as well. I mean, it's up to you guys.
Yeah. I guess I'll do my +5 perception over my +0 in inspection. So 18 total.
18. Okay, cool. So, Celti, what you find is over in the far corner, you see remnants actually in this room of a small fire. Going over to it, you see some like charred wood. Looking at it, inspecting it, you can make a survival check for me to inspect the fire if you want.
Okay. No, I don't think I will. No. 22.
Okay, you estimate that this fire was burned 5 to 6 days ago.
Oh, so it's fresh.
Yeah, pretty fresh.
I want to do the thing. I just grab some of the ashes and like sniff it and like sprinkle it through the air. Someone was here 5 to 6 days ago.
Taste it a little bit.
Yes, just taste it, spit it out.
5 days. I thought we had said that there hadn't been anyone here for centuries.
Wait, let me check that again. Taste a little bit more. Yes, yes, yes. Days, not centuries.
Well, that's mildly concerning.
I'd say more than mildly. Um, should we be on guard?
Kane, are we crashing someone's home? Do you think people still live here? Monks.
DM, do I have any inkling that there might be people still living here aside from the fact that he said 5 days ago?
None at all.
Best be on our guard. There might be someone using this as a hideout.
Should we report back to the professor and let him know about this?
Should we have knocked?
I mean, I did try to knock on the door, but I didn't hit it the first time.
You hit the branches.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
Right.
definitely proceed with caution with knowing that there might be some other people here.
Oh, I don't know. I think we could just, shout, "Hello, anybody home?" and it'll turn out fine, right?
My concern is if they're bandits using this to hide away from.
Dodrin kind of pipes up and he says, "Well, how are they getting in and out? I mean, the vines and stuff covering the front doors. I mean, those were thick. There was no sign that someone was coming in and out of here frequently."
Do we have knowledge, or did your guys' research show that there weren't other entrances?
We didn't. As far as I know, it's the only entrance. But I mean, we could be wrong.
I would say if I was to build a house this big, I wouldn't just put one door on it. I mean, that seems like a waste of walls. And if you get, like an escape route or something, a back door.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that all makes sense. I mean, it's just it's kind of scarce information.
Dodrin, should we go tell the professor someone's been here, or should we just press on and tell him later?
That might break his heart.
I don't want to set him into a panic.
Yeah, we should probably just forge ahead. And I mean, right now it's just a fire. Let's not. I hate to say this, but like, don't yell fire where there's smoke. But I'm kind of saying don't yell monster where there's fire, I guess.
These could
Fair
just be
point.
people just passing through and they happen to find an entrance. They're seeking shelter for the night the other day. Could be
Yeah,
nothing. They could have be gone.
yeah, that's very true. It could still be empty if
Are there any tracks or any other signs of people
That's what I was gonna
disturbing
ask.
the
Yeah.
the area around where the campfire was, like leaving a trail?
I will say at this point, you guys have been in the room enough and like walking around and looking around that you kind of would have disturbed any trace of that before you saw the fire.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so you don't know at this point.
Cool.
Darn.
Is there like a layer of dust on the floor, just like in general, that we can like look for stuff like outside,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
down the hallway that we haven't gone to yet?
yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you guys can do that.
There are no doors or anything else in this room other than the one
Nope.
we came through.
No, it's
Okay.
pretty much identical to the other ones, except it has like those training like pillar dummy things in it.
I'm gonna go over to one and like smack it with the back into my glaive.
Okay, yeah, it makes a real satisfying thwack.
Cool.
Good hit.
Let's push forward, but this time I'm going to put away the lit up torch, pull out my axe, do the whole small thing.
Okay.
Pop that out, and then ask Salty, do you mind switching the light over?
Sure. And I'll just like run my finger across the blade and light
Okay.
it.
Yeah, you do that. Dodrin says, "Should we proceed with caution or what?" Okay.
Caution and what? Yes, creativity.
All right. Well, then I'm
Yeah.
going to ask for all of you guys, including Dodrin, to roll a stealth check.
Cool.
Ooh, I'm so not great at these. That's a natural 1.
Ooh.
So it doesn't matter how good I am at them.
Nice.
Dodrin didn't roll very well either, I can see.
Dodrin also rolled a natural 1.
Ooh.
If it pleases the court, that does make me that does put me at a 3.
Total 20 for me.
And an 18 for me.
Okay. Yeah, Kane and Dodrin just can't seem to get there, just be quiet. And as you guys continue this hallway, you see that another hallway branches off of it to your left, but then just a few paces past it in front of you, it opens up and like the hallway falls away into like a room ahead of you. Who's in front at this point? Who would be in front?
I figured I would be Kane,
Okay.
unless someone else wants to proceed ahead.
I mean, I could go. Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. Sorry, hold on, because I hit survival instead of stealth, and I'm at disadvantage on that. So,
Oh yeah, your armor.
yeah, give me 1 second. I think it's gonna be a 13.
I think the first one was a natural 15.
Yeah.
This is still lower.
Yep, 13 total for me. But I mean, I could go in front since I don't need the light to see and kind of scout a bit, but I'm not super stealthy either, apparently. So,
It's up to you guys. It is totally up to you guys.
Kane, do you want to be in front or you want me to be in front?
Evens or odds?
Evens.
It's an 8, so go for it.
All right, I'll take point.
Basically have the choice, Celty, if you want to turn left, and turning left would basically be like you're going deeper into the cliffside, or continue forward, where the hallway drops away and opens up into this bigger space.
So left would go deeper, as in like it goes down, or it.
No, like that goes further in. So you just turned right. You walked about 10 feet, and then a new hallway branches off to the left, and the hallway continues a little further, opening up into a room. So you can go left or forward.
How far down the left can I see, or does it kind of like turn?
You can see about 35 feet, and then there's a wall, and maybe it opens up, turns another direction, but angle wise, you can't really tell from where you are.
Okay. I'd say let's look into. You said the other route opens up into a room.
Yep.
I'd say let's check that out.
I trust your judgment.
You're in the lead.
All right, go into the room.
You step into this chamber that opens up. It's probably about 50 feet by 50 feet. What might have once been benches, ruins of benches, like that have fallen apart over the years, lay scattered throughout the room in what may have once been rows or some sort of like shape.
Mm-hmm.
But what catches your eye most, Celty, is that at the far end of the room from where you just entered, there is a small stage, let's say, a small rise. But on that rise is this large, fleshy mass that has just begun to shift and look towards you. It's this almost bug-like thing that has pale skin, and it just lets out this chittering cry. And it's this long, almost like slug larva-like thing, but you see it begins pulling at this leash that's tethering it to the wall. I'll give you a chance to do one thing.
Oh, and that's really the only thing that stands out in this room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Do I have that? I'm just gonna cast. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if I could make a history check to see if this makes any sense for the little knowledge I have of this stuff.
Make a nature check.
Nature. Oh.
Well, no, you didn't see it. You just heard the noise.
Oh, okay.
Disadvantage.
Oh, balls. 14?
You've heard that cry before. You've never actually faced one, but that is, you think, something called a carrion crawler.
Judging by the name Carrion Crawler, I would assume that this is not about to be a happy interaction.
I'm just gonna panic guiding bolt at it. Just to try to get it to shut up.
Okay. All right, guiding bolt. Is that where you roll an attack against it?
Yeah. It's got 120 foot range.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 45 feet away from you.
Okay. Let's do this. Oh, balls. 11.
That misses.
Damn.
And as your guiding bolt kind of splashes across the wall behind it on your miss, it pulls and this leather binding that was holding it snaps and it rushes forward at you. So I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh, balls.
Yeah.
Varus, Kane, and Dodrin are starting in the hallway. Celti, you're in the room.
Cool. Rolled poorly on initiative, too.
That you did. Ooh.
Okay. Celti, what was that, a 6?
That's a 6.
Okay. All right. Kane, what was yours?
16.
And Varus.
9.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, boys.
Yeah, we got some good rolls up in here.
All right. Well, the carrion crawler goes first.
Oh boy.
And it is just going to rush in, but it's going to stop a little bit. No, it's going to go in all the way at right in front of you. And then, I mean, this thing is massive, Celti. It probably, when it rears up, it's kind of like a bloated centipede that like has like fleshy fat masses. But it rears up, and you actually see like coming off of its head, these two like antenna are actually more like tentacles, and you see one of them just comes down and attempts to just like smack you with
Do not like. I just picture like a really fat, like grub, like carnivorous grub looking thing.
that's basically what it is if you want to look up what they look like. But that is a 17 to hit.
You know what? That just hits.
All right. So what happens is, let me see here. So you take 4 poison damage, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
21.
All right. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. Nothing happened. Nothing else
And you
happened.
said 9 points of poison damage?
No. 4 points of poison.
Oh,
damage.
4. Why did I think 9?
So it hits you with that, but then it, as that slaps across you, it then darts in and tries to just bite you really quickly as well. And that is I'm pretty sure that's a 9 to hit, which misses you for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the bite misses, and it's now like chittering and chattering.
Gotcha.
Okay. Kane, it's your turn.
All right. And you said I'm still in the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first off, I'd like to go ahead and scratch my little scar, make myself nice and rage-like.
Okay. You enter a rage.
Yep. And then I'm bum rushing into the room. If I can possibly get on the flanking side of it, or do I have enough movement for that?
You don't have enough movement to do that.
Okay. Let's see.
Coming from the hallway, because it'll take you about 10 feet to move in, and it would probably take you about 25 feet of movement to actually get into flanking.
Gotcha.
With Celti. So
okay, well, I'll get as far around it as I can with my 30 feet of movement, and then just wail on it.
Okay.
Let's see, that's with my great axe. That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
10 points of slashing damage, plus, if I can remember how this thing works, first creature hit on each turn, an extra d6. Okay, because I'm throwing my Divine Fury into it.
Okay.
Ooh, and that's an extra 6 points of radiant damage.
All right. Yeah. You guys see Kane just run in. Yeah, because you still have light on your axe. So
yeah.
So you're fine. Okay.
Cool.
It was Kane's turn. It is Dodrin's turn. Actually, Dodrin's going to just stay where he is, but he will cast Mage Armor on himself. And
Smart lad.
All right.
And he'll look at you, Varus, and he says, I got kind of excited when we snuck past a giant and we faced some bandits. This thing is horrifying. And that's all he will do on his turn. Okay. And I believe that now brings us to Varus.
I agree. I'm gonna try and I'll duck my head inside, and I'm gonna cast Earth Tremor underneath this big old bug.
All right.
So that is a Dexterity save of 13.
He fails.
Nice. Okay. So he takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage, which
And
is
falls prone, right?
yeah, 5 points of bludgeoning damage, and he's prone. And that
Okay.
square becomes difficult terrain.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys see this creature go down. Yeah, it is prone. Celty, you're up.
All right. So it's prone.
Yep.
Interesting. How is like? Oh, okay. I mean, a creepy crawly worm thing. All right, and it's still right up next to me, or is it right?
Yeah, it's like right in front of you.
Okay. I am. And did it take damage?
Yeah, I hit it.
Kane hit it. Okay, then I'm gonna toll the dead on it. Wisdom saving throw of 13.
Okay.
For me.
That is a natural 20.
Cool.
Oof.
I mean, I'd rather it on that than whenever it's attacking us.
For sure. Can I get in a position where I'm like flanking it with Kane?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, then I'll do that.
Cool. So it is now back to the top of the round. It is the carrion crawler's turn. It will use half of its movement to stand up, and then it is going to dart over to the wall right behind you, Celty. So you two can take attacks if you want.
Yes, please.
All right. After you, Kane.
That is a 16.
Yep, that hits.
Yay! With a solid 7 points of slashing damage on my end.
Okay.
I don't hit.
Okay. What'd you roll?
A 7.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't hit. And you guys see the carrion crawler crawls up the wall and onto the ceiling, but it extends down enough and it takes a swipe at you again, Celty, with tentacles. That's a lot to hit you.
Oh no.
That's a 27 to hit.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh.
Okay. So that is 5 poison damage, and I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Come on. 10.
God.
Oh no.
Okay, Celty, you are considered poisoned for 1 minute. This is
All
a
right.
special type of poisoning, though. Until the poison ends, you are paralyzed. You can repeat.
So
you can repeat the saving. So you're poisoned and paralyzed, basically. You can
Gotcha.
repeat the saving throw to end this entirely at the end of each of your turns.
Gotcha.
Oh my god.
Oof.
All right,
Okay.
so that was the carrion crawler's turn. Kane, you're up.
Okay, and you said it was on the ceiling now?
Yep, 20 feet above you.
Oh, that's just mean.
Sorry, I picked a monster that had a climb speed.
Let's
Oh,
see.
no.
All right, we're breaking out the lightning breath.
Okay,
So it needs to make a dex save.
17.
Oh yeah, it succeeds.
All right, yeah, it just kind of like its body like morphs around the electricity and then like goes back to where it has its quote unquote eyes set on you, Kane.
Oh, it still takes half damage.
Yeah, sure.
Which is half damage is going to be 4 points of lightning damage.
It's nothing.
Oh
right.
yeah.
All right, and Kane, do you want to move?
I'd like to kind of move over closer to Salty and just kind of get ready to guard, I guess.
Okay. All right, so it is now everyone's favorite half-orc sorcerer, Dodrin's turn. He will run into the room himself. He is going to cast a little something we like to call Chaos Bolt.
Woo! Get him.
Woo!
And he will
Knock him prone.
He's going to do it at first level. So let's see there. He misses.
Oh no.
Yeah, he rolled an 11 to hit. Misses. So Dodrin does that. You guys see this like kind of spinning sphere of different light go shooting off in the direction. Dodrin goes, oh, and he looks at, he just kind of like, that's like frustrated, like, ah! And he looks over and he goes, is Celty okay? And that's the end of his turn. And it brings us to Varus.
Oh, this is getting out of hand. Okay, I'm going to cast Ice Knife.
Okay.
I went ahead and prepared a blasty spell for today.
Yeah.
Just in case, because last time I needed one, I didn't have one. So let's see if I hit with the first bit. Nope, that's a 7.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, but
I
it still
think it
explodes.
still has to save. Yeah, it still has to
Yeah.
save against the explosion.
So that's a deck save, right?
Yeah, DC 13.
11 doesn't save.
Oh, nice.
Okay, we're chipping away slowly. So 2d6 cold damage. Ooh, and that's a big roll. 11. 5 and a
Man.
6.
Man, oh man. Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay.
son.
Yeah, he's looking real bad. Real
Okay.
bad. All right. Anything else you want to do, Varus?
So how I know Celti is like paralyzed. Is she looking pretty rough, pretty damaged, or
Um, she looks like she's been hit, but like she's not looking crazy bad.
okay? I'm gonna go ahead and give you one of my Balm of the Summer Court die, just in anticipation that you being paralyzed is gonna be bad on this next turn.
Oh, that's still very much appreciated.
Aw. You get 1 hit point back and
One.
1 temporary hit point.
Sweet.
The most solid of rolls.
Hey, I rolled a
I
5
will
and a
take
6
it.
on the damage dice. I have to balance out that average somewhere.
Right.
I will absolutely take it.
All right. And that brings us to Celti's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much just make the save.
Yeah. So it's a con save.
Yep.
All right. What's the
Come
DC?
on.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Does a big ol' 13 do it?
You just save.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
sweet.
hey.
Yeah.
But
So,
that's my turn, right?
yeah, that's your turn.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Boo.
So yeah, so you feel your muscles lock up and you feel this venom coursing through your body for a second, but then 6 seconds later you're able to shake it off.
Oh, I know this is super late, but I forgot to add 2 points of damage
late.
on my last hit.
Too
Yeah.
late. You gotta do it on your turn, bud.
Yep. I'm still getting used to rage. Sorry.
No, it's all good. All right, it is the carrion crawler, and it will come down off the ceiling again, and it's going to make a tentacle strike at Kane. So Kane, that is a non-natural 20 to hit.
That might hit, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, at least I'm okay at those. 16.
Okay, you're fine, but you take 5 poison damage.
Ooh. I'm not resistant to poison damage. Rude.
And it will also bite you, Kane.
Come at me, bro.
That is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
4 piercing damage.
Half to 2. All right.
All right, and that is all it does. It's your turn.
I just smile at it and I go, my turn. I smack it with the axe. So, 21 to hit.
Yep.
D6, since I'm putting Divine Fury into it. That would be 10 points of slashing damage, plus another 2 rage damage. So 12 total, plus another 4 points of radiant damage.
Okay, yeah, you just go in and your axe just sinks into the meaty underside, and you just feel your axe you feel the skin just give, and your axe just travels all the way through it, and you pretty much split it from like its midsection all the way through its head in half, and it just flops on the ground dead.
Yes!
Got it.
Good job.
And Dodrin just looks at this thing, looks up at all of you, and you guys see like the arcane sparkling of his mage armor, and he goes, "Okay, so we're not alone in here." And I'm gonna say that's where we're gonna end that episode.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, that was unexpected.